The chance to experience Sunday Mass at the place where they believe Christ rose from the dead draws pilgrims from around the world to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. But this Sunday, the Greek Orthodox, Armenian and Catholic churches which jointly run the site announced its abrupt closure, protesting against measures which they say would constrain their rights over church property.
This reminds us all of laws of a similar nature which were enacted against the Jews during the dark periods in Europe. This systematic and unprecedented attack against Christians in the Holy Land severely violates the most basic, ab antiqua and sovereign rights.
The church leaders say they face a twin attack. First, in the shape of a demand by Jerusalem city government for what it says is more than $180 million in back taxes. And secondly, from proposed legislation which would seize retroactively for the state church land sold to private companies. Well, Sundays in the square outside the Church of the Holy Sepulchre are always thronged with tourists and Christian pilgrims, many of whom have travelled a long way to see this most important holy site. It's always an atmosphere of emotion. Today, the chief atmosphere, though, is one of disappointment.
We believe that Jesus Christ died, and if he was buried here, we would have liked just to go there and have the historic point, the view, so that way we'd be able to understand it better.
I don't know the sides of the parties involved, but, it certainly is going to get the public attention to do this, and hopefully it drives a quicker conclusion.
The Christian Patriarchates own large areas of often prime real estate in and around Jerusalem, much of it leased to the state. Palestinians have criticized the Greek Orthodox Patriarch for selling property inside the Old City to Jewish settler groups and others. Jerusalem's municipal leaders say only properties being used for religious activities should be tax exempt, not those rented commercially. They've already frozen about $9 million in assets of the Greek Orthodox Church.
We're talking about other places that the church owns, such as hotels, and they have been exempt wrongly from paying city taxes for years and years and years. And the mayor at the moment is trying to correct a wrong that was done that affects us, Jerusalem residents, every single day.
A ministerial discussion on the bill to allow seizure of already sold church land has been postponed to next week. The author of the proposed law says it's designed to protect the rights of those living on the land from often anonymous offshore entities. Church leaders say their long-established rights are being trampled in what they call an attempt to weaken the Christian presence in Jerusalem. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, occupied East Jerusalem.